Not every NBA legacy-changing moment happens in the finals. Sometimes, the real turning point, plays that shifted dynasties, shatter future dreams, or set franchise back decades, even at a point of no return. There's been many moments throughout the first 3 rounds that ends up rewriting the future of the league. As we've seen before, 2004 Pistons might not have won the title had it not been for Tayshaun Prince's iconic Game 2 conference final block on Reggie Miller. Of course, 2002, the controversial Western Conference Finals between the Lakers and Kings made many fans question the league's integrity, and who could forget Game 6 2012, LeBron James 45 points in Boston, not only allowing his team to stay alive, but developing an unstoppable aura in big moments ever since. These unforgettable playoff moments happened over 10 years ago, but since 2016, 10 of the most impactful franchise and league-altering non-finals playoff moments that forever changed the NBA's trajectory. Number 10, starting with LeBron James' unstoppable 2018 postseason. The game before clinching his 8th straight NBA Finals, something only Bill Russell's era Celtics legends have done. No modern star will likely match that again. Everyone knew he'd lose to the KD Warriors, but that wasn't the point. What mattered was how he got there. Because this wasn't his Miami Super Team or the Kyrie Cavs. This was LeBron and a bunch of vets. After the entire roster flipped at the deadline, no Irving, no second star, and still king of the conference. After a gruesome Indiana first round series, many didn't think Cleveland would go far. Then came LeBronto, followed by a Game 7 war with Boston. Kevin Love got concussed Game 6. Jeff Green was the second best player. Bron took over the entire game, played all 48 minutes, controlled the tempo, dropped 35, 15, and 9 on the road. From the iconic Rozier chase down block to the brutal and one through Marcus Morris, LeBron single-handedly broke the Celtics spirit. Let's not forget, he dropped 46 points in Game 6 just to stay alive. Since his departure from the East, no team has made the finals in back-to-back years. No teams from the conference have made the finals in back-to-back years. His dominance created impossible expectations for every star that followed after. 2018 didn't end in the title, but it's one of the most respected postseason runs ever. A true masterclass in control, endurance, and greatness from the most complete version of LeBron we ever seen. Number 9, Kawhi Leonard's 2021 ACL tear. The injury that ended the Clippers' best shot at the title. Game 4 vs Utah. Playoff Kawhi unstoppable. First off, saving the Clippers from a 3-2 hole against Dallas with an iconic 45-point performance on 18 of 25 shooting. Leonard, in the middle of a historic playoff run, shot a perfect 16 of 16 in fourth quarters of Clippers wins and looked even better than his 2019 Finals MVP self. Then it all came crashing down. A bump by Joe Ingles. The Clippers called it day to day, refusing to rule him out, but fans later found out it was a torn ACL. The announcement came after Phoenix eliminated the Clippers in 6. LAC's title hopes took a brutal hit. Many believed these Clippers would have easily beaten Phoenix with him healthy and likely would have been the favorites to beat the Bucks in the finals. He already outdueled Giannis back in 2019 conference finals. Instead, it took nearly 500 long days for Kawhi to return back to the hardwood. Since then, 2 playoff games with Paul George and over half his games missed since that injury. Had Kawhi remained healthy throughout the 21 playoffs, Clippers would have been the favorites to win it all. Leonard's legacy would have inched him closer to top 10 all-time discussions. Now, arguably the most disrespected great of this generation. Many talking heads demanded he retire, but those who know Kawhi absolutely understand how hard he's fought to stay elite all these years. Don't count him out just yet, even after 2025. Number 8, May 14, 2017, Zaza Pachulia tripping Kawhi Game 1 Western Conference Finals, a moment that haunted Spurs fans to this day. Sticking his leg under the superstar single-handedly destroyed San Antonio's season. Spurs blew a 25-point lead without their MVP candidate, ended up getting swept. The franchise haven't won a playoff series to this day. If Zaza didn't do that, Golden State still likely wins this series given their talent, but a competitive series would have likely meant Kawhi decides to stay without triggering any injuries that spurted out of control, resulting in Leonard himself seeing outside doctors, mistrust the Spurs medical staff, and demanding out. We might have never seen a Raptors situation. The NBA later implemented the landing space rule, allowing upgrades for flagrants or technical fouls on reckless defensive closeouts, now known as the Zaza rule. Even had Pachulia gotten suspended rest of the playoffs for that hostile act, he was Golden State's 10th best player, already did irreparable damages. Kawhi and the historic Spurs franchise had one of the most nasty falling outs we've seen over the next 14 months. 7. Chris Paul Game 5 2018 hamstring injury. His team a win away from dethroning the almighty powerful Warriors. His best shot at a title. A healthy Paul would have given Houston a legit shot at home to win Game 7. If it wasn't for 27 straight missed threes, his team had control of the series until he got hurt. CP running the point allows for easier shots, setting the tempo unlike the predictable Harden. Although Golden State the last team anybody wants to count out, getting past that series would likely mean beating LeBron's Cavs in 5. The narrative for both Paul and Harden both would have been in top 20 all-time conversation. The two still somewhere in the mid to high 20s with a couple younger superstars, Jokic and Giannis already surpassing them. Mike D'Antoni likely still has a job in the NBA. Being a 65-win team, MVP Harden literally doing similar things to what 2025 SGA is doing now, but Shea having fully healthy teammates. CP3 continued to play excellent ball till 2022. Ran out of gas the Milwaukee Finals. Second option Booker, not quite as good as Harden. 2018 Rockets, easily the best team Durant's Warriors prevented from winning a title. 6. 2020 Clippers, blowing that 3-1 series lead in the bubble. The most memorable sequence from Disney, still the last 3-1 blown lead. The biggest semifinals upset all time, choking away 3 consecutive double-digit leads. Triple opportunities to close out, only to shat the bed. Doc Rivers' masterclass choke job led to an absolute disgrace of a failure. Preseason title favorites, from the crazy free agent hype of Kawhi Leonard signing, many should have foresaw a baby Jokic and young Jamal Murray out executing, outperforming, and outplaying the bootlegged Jordan Pippen tandem. Those Clippers were supposed to be built similar to the 96 Bulls, stacked in every position, but too many role players acted like they were already champs. Nobody got along. Kawhi ran out of gas Game 7. Doc Rivers failing to adjust when Jokic toyed with Montrezl Games 5 to 7 should have been a warning sign for teams to avoid giving him multiple chances. There's no surprise why a Doc-led team hasn't gotten past the second round since 2012. Clippers crosstown rival Lakers handled their business, cruising their way to the title. The Battle of LA showdown, anticipated to break basketball, never to be seen. The Clippers' curse remains strong as ever. LAC players can complain if there was no bubble, they win a chip. Kawhi would have been in top 10 all-time discussions. Doc Rivers 2 titles. Team would have acted way cockier than the 08 Celtics. Bron and AD wouldn't have won a ring. Jerry West adds to his all-time basketball legacy. Trez probably still in the NBA. Clippers would have been viewed the geniuses of the crazy OKC trade, but most of the blame on the failure goes to the atrocious Paul George. PG would have been top 75 had he won that bubble title. Too bad. 2019, Kevin Durant's Achilles tear ruined Golden State's chances at three-peating. A calf strain injury, missed the rest of the Houston series and all of Portland's conference finals. Decided to show he had the heart of a champion. When returning Game 5 down 3-1 in the finals, could barely move, still scored 11 points in 12 minutes, but the worst thing possible happened when tearing his Achilles. Too many what-if scenarios. If KD decided not to play Game 5 and Toronto closes out, Klay doesn't tear his ACL Game 6. More importantly for KD's legacy's sake, many forgotten he was playing his best basketball, posted godly averages of over 35 a game, a ridiculous 52, 43, 91 shooting splits, including a 50-point closeout on the 8-seeded Clippers. Durant's name was in top 10 conversations on his way to surpassing the great Hakeem Olajuwon, but since that Achilles, it's still a miracle KD returned back full strength, but his all-time player rankings hasn't leaped ahead of anybody since. If anything, he's been surpassed by then teammate Steph Curry years ago, greats like Jokic and Giannis about to pass KD. Before that injury, everybody came to the conclusion Golden State was Durant's team when Curry struggled early that playoffs. A combination of bad luck and terrible strategy ruined Durant's greatness. Was set to become the first player to three-peat for Finals MVP since Shaq. Rival LeBron James being the best player for many years, 2019 Durant was supposed to take over that torch, had it momentarily before Kawhi Leonard got hold of it. Durant never officially became the best player in the NBA for more than a few months stretch. It wasn't until Giannis and Jokic officially secured it, never looked back. 2019 Dame Lillard waving adios to Russ Westbrook Paul George OKC tenure, a moment Thunder fans will forever be thankful, allowing the franchise to go on full rebuild mode earlier than anticipated after 3 straight first round exits post-Durant era. As cold-blooded and devastating a game-winning shot there is, in many ways, that game winner saved the Thunder and more of a detriment to Dame's Hall of Fame career. That shot resulted in Sam Presti getting all the leverage and getting SGA indirectly led to the selection of Jalen Williams. The Thunder now on verge winning their first title in Oklahoma City. Lillard secured a top 75 player spot, but done absolutely nothing since. Since post 2019, either first round exits or missed playoffs, the Blazers continue to be stuck in no man's land. Dame's 2 years in Milwaukee, a huge disappointment. MVP SGA, a much better player than Dame ever was. The Rockets falling to Golden State that same year had Tillman Fertitta trying to get rid of Chris Paul, trading him for Russ Westbrook, allowing CP to mentor Shea, becoming the player he is today. If the Thunder were to win multiple titles before the end of the 2020s decade, the only title they might be getting an honorable ring for his services, leading to the most successful rebuild in NBA history. Number 3, 2021, Kevin Durant's big toe, an all-time epic second round series, 2 heavy contenders featuring 2 of the game's best players, battled it out until the final possession of overtime. KD's Nets running on fumes with a one-legged Harden who risked his health coming back from a green 2 hamstring, and Kyrie in street clothes with a sprained ankle. The 32-year-old came back from injury, looked better than ever, appeared to hit one of the craziest clutch jumpers all time until his size 18 shoe just touched the line, forcing overtime instead of advancing. Nets ran out of fumes, Giannis survived, Bucks went on to win a title. Greek Freak became one of the most accomplished 26-year-old all-time greats. Coach Bud kept his job 2 more years, was about to get fired had Milwaukee lose the series. KD would have been in the top 5 to 10 all-time conversations, assuming Kyrie and Harden heals up. Brooklyn easily cakewalks through Atlanta and beats Phoenix in the finals. The Nets would have gotten 1 title. Durant silences his critics, would have been ranked above Curry. Harden would have ended up top 20, no longer labeled playoff choker. Kyrie would have been the clear-cut top 75. Nets big 3 likely stay together, riding high off their championship despite the mandates the following season. Brooklyn arguably still viewed as contenders today. Giannis would have likely left Milwaukee to join a big market. Nets big 3 lasted just 16 total games together. Everything went downhill for the franchise after that shot. Joe Absolute Travis D. Harris, forever known as a playoff underperformer, the biggest role player choke job of the decade. Had Steve Nash decided to go with Landry Shamet instead of No-Show Joe, Brooklyn could very well still be contending for titles today. Number 2, Kawhi Leonard's epic Game 7 game winner 2019, 4 bounces, a lifetime of legacy to cherish, one of the most competitive, high-level second-round series, arguably the best Sixers team this century, even better than 2001 given the loaded talent. The process almost complete after the countless tank jobs, trading for Tobias Harris and multiple-time All-Star Jimmy Butler, with promising young Ben Simmons and MVP candidate Joel Embiid, Leonard being a one-year rental for DeMar DeRozan. Toronto was in win-now mode, worry about the rest later, snatched Marc Gasol from Memphis in anticipation for a matchup with Embiid, which worked to perfection. Philly squandered their opportunity to take a 3-1 lead when Tobias certified choke job, 1-2 of 13 from 3 Game 4, and Embiid 11-point stinker, missed a huge opportunity. All the Raptors players looked stiff and nervous Game 7, refused to shoot the ball outside of Kawhi, who needed all 41 points. The one superstar prime Jimmy Butler couldn't compete with. The bounces that sealed the fate of Embiid's playoff legacy, never being able to reach the conference finals. Ben Simmons already had some ongoing back issues, slowly became washed years after. Franchise later gave Tobias a disgusting 5 years $180 million max stinker, only to be replaced by washed up Paul George. If Kawhi misses that shot and Raptors lose in overtime, a Philly vs Milwaukee's conference finals likely favors the Sixers due to vintage Jimmy Butler, and with Durant's injury to Golden State, Embiid would have dominated the undersized Warriors and never been labeled a playoff choker. But after that game winner, many unofficially crowned Kawhi as best player in the league after winning the title. Philly's front office would have offered Jimmy anything had he dragged that franchise to the title, being the best player in the playoffs. Perhaps the Miami thing would have never happened had the Sixers let Ben Simmons walk instead. Too many unknowns, only endless conspiracies. Number 1, doesn't get any better than Game 6 Klay Thompson 2016 OKC series. A hostile environment on the road, 73-win team, all-time powerhouse Golden State. About to lose in 6, the big, strong, powerful Thunder demolished 67-win San Antonio in the semis. The team to retire Tim Duncan ran Golden State out the gym games 3 and 4, had a commanding lead through 3 quarters to close out 6th game, until an unconscious Klay Thompson exploded from all angles behind the arc, refused to let his team down. OKC collapsed under pressure. Durant and Westbrook shot a combined 3 of 14 in the 4th, 6 turnovers, final 3 minutes of the game. Every time Klay caught the ball, everything was cash money. Had 41 points, 11 trays. Warriors went on to win Game 7 in Argo, built their own 3-1 lead, but squandered their opportunity for a repeat. Everything that transpired afterwards, ultimately due to the 90-second sequence of Game 6 Klay's barrage of bombs to keep his team alive. Had OKC just held off Golden State, they make the finals. KD and Bron battle it out. Even if Durant loses to Cleveland, why would he leave a team that took down the 67-win Spurs and 73-win Warriors, just missing a shot at the greatest title run all time? Or maybe KD goes somewhere else. If he wins that title, more than likely, him and Russ still together, Durant be considered the NBA's loyal king. Or could James Harden's Rockets win a championship in 2018 had Durant went anywhere besides Golden State? Bron's 2016 championship also not guaranteed if he faced the Thunder. The impasse of Kawhi Leonard would have been interesting. If he didn't get hurt against KD's Warriors, would he have remained in San Antonio? Thousands of scenarios amongst the entire NBA, different legacies being impacted, all due to one game, the most crucial non-finals playoff game over the last 10 years by far. Everything that happened in the NBA since could be traced back to May 28, 2016, the most important non-finals game of the modern era.